The man was about to leave the room when he found a young girl living next door. At a glance, he was mesmerized by the other party's beautiful face and devilish figure. Seeing that the girl was also living here, the man decided to stay one more night because he had to go hunting with a client tomorrow. So the sleepless Mike came to the bar next to the hotel to have a drink. Unexpectedly, he just came to the front desk, and he saw the exquisite face and sexy figure of the blonde girl again. He instantly fell in love with Mike. Because there was only one side, Mike didn't say hello. After learning that the other party was the waiter here, Mike was just about to ask the boss if the girl had a boyfriend. But who expected that in the next second, the girl accidentally turned over the table. The other party bent his waist and picked up the action, which made Mike feel very satisfied. But for the sake of face, he still didn't dare to go to the front desk. When he returned to the hotel, Mike was just about to take care of the gunshot, but there was a sudden noise outside the door. Out of caution, he quickly held a pistol in his waist. He planned to come out and take a look. It turned out to be a nine-eyed boy. He was flirting with the blonde girl next door, looking at Mike holding a pistol in his waist. He was so scared that he quickly ran away from the hotel. Seeing the blonde girl alone, he was wondering which man didn't want to say hello. But when Mike thought of hunting tomorrow, he turned around and went back to his room to prepare to sleep. This beastly behavior made the girl extremely disappointed. The next morning, Mike packed up and came to the shop at the corner of the mountain. But when he asked the boss who the client was today, the blonde girl next to him also walked into the shop. Mike finally realized that he had to accompany the hunting client. It was the beautiful young girl in front of him. The two of them didn't stay long, so they went up the mountain. At this time, Kate also said the purpose of going up the mountain. It turned out that her father loved to hunt here when he was alive. So after his death, he wanted his daughter to keep her ashes here. In order to meet his father's last wish, Kate specially found a professional hunter to accompany her, just to find a feng shui treasure for her father. After a day's journey, Mike finally brought Kate to the top of the mountain. But because it was getting late, the two of them had to decide to rest and leave early tomorrow morning. However, at this time, Kate finally asked her doubts in her heart. What kind of family would an excellent man like Mike have? And looking at the atmosphere, Mike also decided not to sell the coffin and prepare to tell his own story. His father threw the ball on the road, and his daughter rushed over to pick it up in a hurry. Unexpectedly, the tragedy happened. This 15-year-old boy crashed into this cute little girl. His father held his daughter's body in grief, but his wife blamed it all on her husband in order to make herself feel better. She always sought comfort from the neighbors next door, but she didn't expect to be hit by her husband this time. The man was angry and had a big fight with his wife, but his wife thought she was right. She pulled out the ring and proposed a divorce. We are so dead. The man was desperate. He just lost his daughter, and now his wife ran away with someone else. He had nowhere to go, so he decided to return to his old job and continue to be a hunter guide. But surprisingly, his first client was a blonde beauty. The other party's exquisite face and devilish figure turned Mike's mind upside down in an instant. He was wondering which old cadres could withstand such a test. In order to serve the client well, Mike hurried to the mountain with the girl. At this time, he also learned about Kate's intention to go up the mountain. It turned out that he came here to hand over his father's ashes. In order to help Kate find a feng shui treasure, Mike asked her to wait in place. He was going to take a look at the cliff. But as soon as he got to the top of the mountain, he found something wrong. There seemed to be something strange not far away. He was worried that he would be in danger. So he quickly picked up the shotgun and carefully approached the front. But when he walked to the front, he found that there was a soldier dead here. But when he was about to relax his vigilance, he suddenly found a strange suitcase below. Out of curiosity, he carefully opened it and checked it. As a result, he was shocked by what was inside. He only saw 100 million cash in the box. There was no one around. There was only a dead pilot. He hurriedly stuffed the suitcase into his backpack and rushed down the mountain, unexpectedly. When he just reunited with his companions, a shower of gunpowder suddenly came. Mike hurriedly took Kate to hide and shoot. He didn't have to think about it. The other party also came for the 100 million cash. But fortunately, Mike is a top retired soldier. He didn't have to blow up and easily killed a few enemies. But it seemed that the other party had been constantly dispatching troops. Mike had no choice but to stop training. He took Kate into the hidden forest, and it seemed that he lost sight of the target. The bad guys were busy dispatching to motorcycles. It was obvious that they were desperate for the 100 million cash. At this time, Mike also heard the horn of the engine. In order to escape, he asked Kate to set up the machine gun in the dark. He took the backpack and led the two bad guys. On the motorcycle, with the cooperation of tacit understanding, the two easily killed the bad guys. But before they could be happy, Kate was suddenly subdued by an old man in a ghillie suit. It's hard to believe that Mike had such a magical gun. After killing the enemy, they continued to run. But they didn't get far. Mike found out that Kate's thigh was injured. If he didn't bandage it in time, he might be in danger at any time. The girl's thigh was injured. His companion quickly rolled up his pants to check the wound for him, unexpectedly. The girl thought he was moving too slowly. He decided to untie his pants belt just to make her check the wound more intuitively. Fortunately, after checking, he found that it was just a scratch. After a simple treatment, the girl reluctantly put on her pants. Finally, he continued to run and hide with his companion, because the girl's thigh was injured and the speed was slow. Mike decided to hide the 100 million cash he had stolen into the tree hole and wait until its sleigh was completely safe before coming back to take it away. After everything was arranged properly, the two continued to set off. I don't know how long it took. They finally arrived at the corner of the mountain. However, surprisingly, there was a car behind them. After begging the driver finally agreed to give them a ride. Unexpectedly, when Mike was about to get in the car, get up in the back, sweetie. Get up in there with your boyfriend. Get up. It's so sad it turns out that this old man and the bad guy are on the same side. Soon they were tied up in a warehouse, and they didn't even dare to say where the money was hidden. In a fit of anger, the old man hung Mike up. Then he took up his knife and planned to strike. And Mike was not at all panicked, because he was already prepared to respond. After killing the old man, Mike hurried to untie Kate. However, the rest of the bad guys had already caught up. Both sides were careful and didn't dare to make a sound. They were afraid that an accident would kill the other party. Mike immediately fought with an enemy, and Kate was hiding quietly. In the meantime, the old man was quickly fighting with the enemy. At this time, Mike didn't know his physical strength. He fell in the middle of the fight. However, it was just before the war. It turned out that Kate killed the bad girl. She shot Mike in time. The two of them worked together. In the end, they destroyed all the enemies. 3 days later, the two of them came together to the place where the hidden cash was. Mike opened the box. He was going to split the 100 million cash in it, but who knew that when he was thinking about how to make use of the money? Kate suddenly took out a pistol. The pistol killed Mike. In his mind, nothing is more important than money, let alone just a man, and the last thing he needs is a man. In the end, Kate swallowed the 100 million cash. The movie ended.